Man, I cannot believe it's been almost 2 years since we went live in Yellowstone National Park, but here we are. We are in northern Arizona in the high desert. If you are new to this channel or if you are watching the replay for the first time, my name is Scott along with Ariane. We are This Nomadic Idea. And basically, our channel is really about wow. It's everything from backpacking to renovating a 1976 Airstream Argosy, and then traveling in that Argosy for about 5 years. And then really there's a big part of our nomadic journey that ended up in Yellowstone National Park, in a small little town called Cook City, Montana, where we kind of landed there for a minute. Still might be going back up there this summer. We're not really sure yet. But anyway, it's good to see everybody. I'm going to try to do comments the best way I can. I don't know if I can actually see all of them pop up, but I'm going to try anyway. And if I don't get to your comments, I will follow up after the video, and I will make sure that I comment on every single person's comment. If you have questions or anything like that, I will absolutely answer all of them for you. But I wanted to kind of go through a little bit about where we've been and what happened at Yellowstone National Park and why all of a sudden did we stop kind of making content and creating videos. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Actually, a lot about it. I can tell you all that we never stopped uploading videos. In fact, if you go back and go through all of our shorts, we have some amazing shorts of Yellowstone. I mean, we're talking about a grizzly bear scooping out like a carcass out of a pond. We had a lot of encounters with grizzly bear, a lot of encounters. Black bear, cinnamon bear, moose. So if you go back through all those shorts, we have a ton of wildlife in there. But we didn't really kind of like do the bigger videos. I didn't really upload those that much anymore. For a while, but we never stopped uploading to YouTube. As we kind of get started with this live, we're almost like 3 minutes now. I'm going to kind of get this over with because it's the hardest thing for me to talk about as far as why we stopped creating content and why we kind of like we didn't write any blogs, we didn't like really do anything with the website. This Nomadic Idea, we just kind of like quit. We also gave up the This Nomadic Idea podcast. That was actually doing real. It was really starting to pick up steam, and we quit that too, or I quit. So briefly, and I'm going to talk about this because it's hard to talk about, especially on YouTube and especially when you're live. So probably the last social media post we did was in May of, I believe it was 20 maybe, and it was on Instagram. And so we had a bunch of snow on Memorial Day in Cook City. I mean, a bunch. We got like, I don't know, 2 feet of snow in Cook, and then in higher elevations, they got 5, 6, 7, even 10 feet up at the Beartooth Mountains. It was a really nasty snowstorm, and it was right at the end of May. And so June 1st, we just had a ton of snow. And so that kind of went on. It was like not even 3 days later, it started raining. So in a very short period of time, like weeks, we experienced the Great Yellowstone Flood, and we were there. In the middle of the flood, as people are trying to figure out what's going on. They'd called for a couple different evacuations. We were in on that. I had taken a job with the county, Park County, Montana, so I was working for the county. And so I had access to a lot of information regarding EMS and regarding evacuations, things like that. So in the middle of the whole flood thing, and it was bad. I mean, I won't lie, it was bad. In the middle of the thing, my brother passed away. So, that was just a really tough uh, gut. And so in the middle of the flood, as the northeast entrance road was destroyed, and Cook's barely hanging on to what tourism was left. Yellowstone Park was completely closed on the north and northeast entrance park. That's really where all the damage, extensive damage, was. And then I had to fly out. I had to leave, and so I had to go out to Wisconsin and take care of all of that stuff with my brother. And so between the flood and my brother passing away, and it was not good. Um, and with the house, I had to find renters for that house because we weren't ready to sell it right away. So it was like just an emotional. And I came back, and I just, I didn't want to do content more. I just didn't feel like it. I just didn't want to put anything out there anymore. I didn't really think it was worth it, and so we just stopped. And I concentrated on working and Cook and enjoying that area as much as we could. I mean, let me tell you something. There are people on YouTube, and there are people that will tell you they know Yellowstone and you should get their guide to Yellowstone. I know every nook and cranny, crevice, creek, trout fishing place, where to fish, where not to fish, where to hike, where not to hike, where you're going to see wildlife, where you're not going to see wildlife. I know every nook and cranny of that park. So we just enjoyed that. The other thing too about YouTube that kind of irked me a little bit was at that time, in the whole RV crowd and all these RV YouTubers and things like that, and that's great, that's fine. No, I have no problem. But they were Yellowstone, Yellowstone, Yellowstone. Like you need to come to Yellowstone and blah blah. And then all of a sudden, when we had the flood, and we needed their support more than ever. I mean, tourism, like where we were, it was like a faucet turned it off. If anybody ever was going to come out and really say, hey, thank you, man, Yellowstone, or thank you, these gateway communities of Yellowstone, we're going to bring our RVs and stuff, no one showed up. I mean, nobody. And so I kind of felt like I was kind of living a part of that lie in the RV category where, oh man, hey, you should go out in RV and stuff like that. Well, when the chips are down, none of those people ever come out and support any of those gateway communities or the national park, Yellowstone anyway. So I just kind of felt like I don't know, I felt dirty a little bit as far as, doing content creation and posting it on YouTube. So we didn't really ever quit. We just took a hiatus from it. And that was a moment when I could feel, I guess, clean again. YouTube, and I could feel like, okay, I'm going to share this with our community and share this with you, and I feel a lot better. And quite frankly, the brother thing, it took a lot of weight because it was kind of expected, but the way it happened was really ugly. And so, I just I needed time, and plus, like just this recently, last September, I flew back to Wisconsin, cleaned the house, painted the house, and we put the house up for sale and sold it in one day, which kind of led to the big transition of the off-grid property here in northern Arizona, because my brother had a 2.5 car garage full of tools and full of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to just get rid of that stuff and let someone have it. I'm going to go get it. And so, we put a very strategic plan together on how I could fly out there. And in, it was like 7 days. It was kind of like Extreme Makeover House Edition, when they come in and they completely make over a house in a week. That's kind of what I did. I had a team ready to go. I had help. I had people that my brother knew, neighbors, friends, a couple bartenders in the area, and we went to work on that house like nobody's business. And so I had a roll off ready and dumped the roll off full of garbage, and then the next day I had a pods can be for the winter. So it kind of worked out, but I think I needed to say goodbye to that, and I think I needed to put that part of that issue away, and so when we moved out here, I'm like, you know what? I've been watching a lot of like some of these off-grid YouTubers and some of the things, and I thought, I feel like it's kind of like the RV thing all over again. It's not really what they tell you; it's what they don't tell you. And I'm like, we were really honest about the RV life, and that it wasn't easy and it wasn't as glamorous as everyone said it was, and it's fun, it's great, but it is a harder life. I wanted to be fully honest about the realities of that lifestyle and the realities of traveling and being a nomad, and now the realities of living off grid and literally building your infrastructure from scratch. I mean, like, we landed here, there was nothing. No, nothing, nothing, nothing. We're not even close to electricity. And so that whole thing. And I cannot see comments, so I'm really sorry. I cannot see comments come up. I'll kind of work on that. I'm gonna get a better system than my phone. So next time we go live, and I'd like to try to go live once a week. But as far as Yellowstone goes, I shot like maybe 3 full documentaries of our life in Yellowstone. It was like kind of like what was winter like, and then and then just regular life in that. And if nothing else, kind of like prepped us for off-grid living, I think it was Cook City, because Cook City is barely hanging onto the grid. They do okay, but the power goes out all the time there. And living in a place where you had about 300 inches of snow in winter, and there was one time I couldn't get out of we were living in a mobile home. I couldn't even get out of the mobile home because there was so much snow against the door. I couldn't get out. So, like, experiencing that, I think, kind of really prepped us for being a little bit tougher for the off-grid stuff, so we can kind of handle problems. The one thing that I did kind of appreciate when you're up in a small town is you have to MacGyver everything, because you're not close to anything. So the closest grocery store in the wintertime was 3 hours away. The closest grocery store in the summertime was an hour and a half away. There is no Ace Hardware. There's no little place you can go pick tools up or blah, blah, blah. There's like, one restaurant in town in the wintertime, and they're always kind of like half-ass open, barely open. But in the wintertime, it's tough, man. You're on your own. You are on your own, and you're going to have to MacGyver stuff. Pipes freeze all the time. Our furnace would stop working all the time. So, things like that. And when it's minus 25 degrees, furnace is really important. And your wood burning stove is really important. So, we did that. So if you want to watch those videos, they're more like of a documentary type style video, where we just kind of show our life, on that. So that's that. So I want to kind of explain why we had stopped making content and creating content, and a little bit about what that life was like in Yellowstone this would be our 4th year there. And AJ, okay, hey, glad you guys are back. You created some awesome content during pandemic, and I absolutely appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much, man. That was very nice. I really appreciate that. We try. We always tell the truth too. We don't BS on our channel. Never have, never will. I tell you straight what life is like being a nomad, and we love being a nomad. We love traveling. We love our Airstream Argosy. That is, we're still in it after. Let's see. I think the renovation took about 2 years, and then we traveled on it for 5. And trust me, when you're living in a Airstream Argosy, that was in 1976, and you always, in the back of your mind, now realize that the axles that you're pulling or that you're towing on, they're still the original axles. So there's nothing like going down the road knowing your axles to your trailer like 45 years old. So the Airstream Argosy is here. We kind of retired it, we think. Not really sure. We missed it in Quartzsite this year. So we're not really sure if it's officially retired. It was retired when we pulled it up on the property. And then we went to Quartzsite, and then we're like, we shouldn't have retired it because we missed it. Well, when we were down there, and we probably for sure have made one honest revelation about being up here on our property in the months of December and January. We're at almost 6,000 feet. City was at 7,800 feet, and even though we're much farther south, it's really cold up here. So, the Airstream, quite frankly, isn't and never was built for single-digit temperatures at night. It was never built that way. When we built that Airstream Argosy, we were like, we're never going to stir because we've got a home on wheels. We can go wherever we want to, and we'll just go to where they're warm, and we fell for that. That's not always true because, things like, a job or working or whatever, not all of a sudden you're shoveling snow off I've shoveled at least 3 feet of snow off of that Airstream Argosy. No, that does help it, with insulation. That's great, but it was never built that way. We never ever were going to be in that Airstream when it was like 10 degrees. And so, we've had one freeze issue where the inside of the Airstream froze a little bit, and it didn't do any damage, but it did break a piece of equipment. Not a real big deal, but we just never built it for that. We never ever wanted it to be that cold out. So we made so next December and January, maybe even parts of February, I would say probably more than likely we were going to be down in Quartzsite from now on. It was really weird this year because we didn't have the van, and the van died, or it's close to death, and so we didn't have the van. So we had that ARB awning attached with the ARB awning tent that was attached. So it's really great for vans because you can go in and out, and you have space in the van. You have a hard shell in the van. Then you come out and have tent space. And so it worked out really well with the van, but we didn't have the van. So we attached it to the truck, and we took the truck down there. And like our first day, it was like, really super windy, and it was just not a really great experience. And plus, it's been cold down there this year. If you guys have been down Quartzsite or Arizona, the whole country's been cold this winter. So we're gonna have we're not sure. Next year, we think the Airstream is gonna come down with us if we don't have something else, probably. So that's kind of been that. Let's see. And so, the off-grid property, we've got about 4 years up here in northern Arizona. I'm going to do a video on how we bought it, what it took to get it. We lost it the first time. It did not go through. We had to fight for this property. And so, and I'll kind of go over that when I do another video on it. So we looked around, it wasn't easy. We don't have a lot of money. In fact, we don't really have a lot of money. So people think that, you have money if you bought property. No, that's not really the case at all. So we're just very patient. And so we've been looking at property probably for the last, 4 years, really, and trying to find the spot, right climate, right location, right? And so it did take us a while to figure out where we wanted to be. And we would at one point in time even looked up in Montana to live. And the thing with Montana is that after the pandemic, as we've all experienced, prices just went through the roof. Montana, I think half of the state of California moved into Montana. You can buy one of the homes that flooded. I saw the water going through the house, by the way. It was a creek going through the living room of the house. So you can buy that house right now for a cool $1 million. That's all. That's an 80-year-old cabin, and I mean the flood insurance only probably costs you, 10 grand a year. But that house is being sold for money. So we couldn't afford Montana. We couldn't afford to be anywhere around that area. Um, and the truth about, I'll tell you guys this. I'll let you guys in on a secret about, yeah. And working for the county, and there's some things I know about the north section of Yellowstone. This is a big secret. I'll share it with you guys. The show Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, that's not filmed in Yellowstone. Okay, it's filmed in Idaho. But they talk about that area. They talk about Paradise Valley, talk about Livingston. They have a lot of name references for that area. Okay, the plot of the show about trying to come in and develop that specific area, that's true. That may be a plot on a TV show, but in real life, that is true. There's a big fight going on in that section between Livingston and the north entrance of Yellowstone. That is real, man. So yeah, Yellowstone isn't filmed in Yellowstone. It's not even filmed in Montana. But the plot, as far as that goes, that's pretty true. Let's see. Montana real estate is insane. Such a shame. I grew up in Bitterroots. Yeah, that's a beautiful area. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful area, and it makes you mad. When you see that area up there and how beautiful it is, it makes you really sad that you can't even come close to affording it. In fact, another secret is that the ranchers out there, and much like Arizona, the ranching community really owns the Montana. Ranchers have been putting their ranchers in conservatorship and making them, they're putting them in like a conservation, they're making them conservation areas, so you'll never be able to develop that area. And ranch a lot of land. I mean, that's a lot of land. So everyone's trying to protect that land. On Highway 89 that goes from Livingston to the north entrance of Yellowstone, everyone's trying to protect that land like crazy because developers are trying to get their nasty hands on that property in that land. But and that's just a beautiful area. Let's see. The Rich Poor Divide is incredible. I think it's unlikely other state. Yeah, you're right. Hey Ed, hey, there he is. Hey, good to see you. Wondering what movements are next. Well, we I don't, nothing's broken yet. Improve it. We're just like building it. Every day we come out and we're like, okay, well, what's a project? And the projects are like an endless list of insanity. But we try to like do a little bit at a time. So projects that we're working on right now. I'm in the shed right now. We got this shed because we need a shed. Pretty obvious. So right now we put insulation in. We just put you can see OSB board on it. So the shed is completely insulated. We're working on that. That's pretty much done. But I bought like a Costway portable washing machine, and then I'm looking for a propane dryer. And so as soon as I find a propane dryer, we'll have a little portable washing machine in here and a propane dryer. Now, I did a video years ago on this Costway portable washing machine. The goal was to put it in the Airstream and have a washing machine in the Airstream. It would have fit, would have been perfect. But at the last minute, when we were getting ready to hit the road, we got nervous about weight, and so we got rid of a bunch of stuff, and the portable washer machine was one of the ones to go. But when we were still in Atlanta, I did a video on that. I love that thing. I mean, it was great. And so I loved it so much, I bought it again. And so we got the portable washing machine. I'm going Friday to get all the plumbing. I'm gonna plumb it in because all those portable washing machines are like, oh yeah, just hook it up in the shower and put your. Well, we don't have a shower. We have a 330 gallon water tote, and well, we have two 330 gallon water totes. We have two 225 gallon water totes. One of those water totes will be for this shed, and so I'm doing that plumbing. So that's project I'm on hooking up because we don't want to drive in town to do laundry. It's too far away, and with a propane dryer, you can't really dry your clothes in winter time, even if the sun's out, never dried. So we're gonna hook that up. So and that's the thing about the off grid. So that answers your question. That's what we're working on. We're working on making this the shed into a multi-facet building for now. So got our Blue Eddy in here. That is powering our Airstream with a 30 amp cord. And then I've got a diesel heater in here, that warm. And then I've got the portable washing machine. That's also going to be our pump house. So it's going to be our solar room and pump house mixed in with a portable washing machine and a dryer. So that's the project. So we'll kind of see how that goes. And then the other upcoming projects, is that when the solar panels that we have on top of the shed, and then we're going to put water catchment on there this week. So that the project, like this weekend, is going to be finishing and making sure that the shed is going to be a multi-purpose shed. So that's the plan. And the thing is, I guess the projects, are somewhat temporary when you're coming out here and there's nothing out here. Only because, what do you do first? You got shelter, well, we've got the Airstream. Well, then water, super important up here. So you have to build that infrastructure. And then, you've got electricity. So those are the main things that we have to do right away. And luckily, Ariane's sister lives in the Chandler Gilbert area of Arizona, so we can go down to see her all the time. Well, I'm in Gilbert, Arizona, for people that don't know, and I think Bob Wells and some other people have talked about this on their channels. Gilbert, Arizona is home of Santan Solar. That's S-A-N, Santan Solar. What Santan Solar does is that they repurpose solar panels that are from these gigantic solar farms out west. And so what they do is they take the solar panels because they're all grant funded, all of them. And so what they do is by the grant stations, they can only use a solar panel for so many years, and it has to get replaced, whether it or not. They have to replace it. So Santan, what they do is they get these solar panels, they refurbish them, and they give them a 1-year warranty on them. So they test all of them. Well, she lives there. I mean, it's like a 10-minute drive from her house to this big, gigantic warehouse to pick up solar panels. So I got 10 245-watt solar panels for $35 each. So I bought just a truck of them. And so we have enough solar. And so right now we're pulling in about a little under 1,000 watts of solar into the Blue Eddy. And 1,000 watts of solar, we can run everything, the Airstream, no problem. I mean, at nighttime, I turn everything off like around midnight and go to bed. We keep the refrigerator running. And I'm going to actually post a video tomorrow. I'm going to post the tour of our property so you can kind of be able to see it and talk a little bit about that solar gig on what it's done and how we tested that when we were in Quartzsite for 2 weeks. So yeah, that's kind of like the projects. I mean, electrical and water. I'm always water to making it better. And the one thing about this is that you learn everything. You learn something new every day. So when we first got here, how do you get water to the Airstream? Well, I mimicked an RV park. Hose to the inlet. How do you get the water out of the inlet? Well, it's a it's a 12-volt pump. So pretty easy to do, but Not when it's, like, you know, 15 degrees outside at night. That stuff freezes. So I think every day we learn a little bit more about, this lifestyle, just like we did with the RV life. Exactly like this. The RV life was like watching a bunch of YouTube videos and everybody saying, man, you need the 5 best products, or you need this and you need to buy that, and oh my God. And, you're into it. You're like, I don't need any of that crap. So, it just teaches you about, the RV life teaches you really basically you're going to get from point A to point B and what's the best way to do it. And you'll figure the rest when you get there. And so, I mean, the stress level now when we tow the Airstream someplace is like, I don't know, who cares, you know? And, um, and so like off-grid life, I think is the same thing. And so we kind of like just, we'll figure it out. Yeah, it's a problem. We'll figure it out. Yeah, everything froze last night. Well, maybe we should move our stuff into the sun. So we did that. Well, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, I really compare a lot of the off-grid YouTube stuff with the RV YouTube stuff. It's kind of the same mixture of stuff. Um, and you got to figure out yourself what you like, what you don't like, how it works for you. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it fit your lifestyle? Not everything fits. Not everything has a one size fit for the lifestyle. Everyone's lifestyle is completely different, and so that's what we kind of take from coming onto the property is that, well, we'll just figure it out. It's not really, it's not gonna be that bad. So, but anyway, yeah, we saw Ed down in Quartzsite. Ed's a desert dweller for sure. Yeah, for sure. So that's kind of like an update. I just wanted to, come in and talk to you guys. It's been forever. So I'll real quickly talk about what our property is going to be and how it could affect you guys, and changes to our channel real quick. So 38 acres is a lot of property. I mean, that's a lot of land. And I don't really feel like Ariane and I are going to be able to just, stay up here by ourselves. So we're going to open up the property to our community and to the people that have been following us for a long time. So we're going to do our best to try to, create a lot more content, but more importantly, we're going to try to do like classes, and we're going to do events here on the property. And it's all going to be for our members. And so I did change our membership. We have a membership called Desert Dwellers. And so if you'd like to become a member of our channel, you'll always get the first invite to the property. Now, I will say this. Every single property in every county across the United States has zoning rules and zoning ordinances. And we respect those. And so there are some things that we can do, there's some things that we can't do, and there's some things that we're going to want to do. So, but one of the things that we can do for sure is have people come up and stay on the property. So we're going to do that through our membership stuff on YouTube. One, because we know who you are and we can talk to you. And we're going to do it just like we did backpacking trips. When we had Trust the Trail podcast, and we took people backpacking, we did the exact same thing. If we knew you from the Trust the Trail podcast, talked to us, and we had taken you on a trip before backpacking, then you always got first dibs to come backpacking with us again. And there are people that did that all the time. So we're going to do the same thing with the property. If you become a member and we know you, you can come up and stay on the property. And I mean, we might make it into like a hip camp type situation, but it's going to be better. It's going to be much better. And so we think that, building a community and building a tribe for that is one way to do it. And so we're going to do. And by the time we kind of get that rolling, which will be soon, I'm hoping, we'll have plenty of water, plenty of electric, and, once we get our septic in and that is finished, then, it'll be open. So that's what we're going to do through the property and through our channel. So did change the membership stuff on our channel, so you can check out the membership, Desert Dweller. I mean, you'll be the first person that we contact, say, hey, we're having this topic, and by the time we're done, hopefully in the next few years with this property, and we're never really done, but by the time it's organized and it fulfills what we want it to be, you'll have the opportunity to maybe stay up here, learn some homesteading stuff. We've already had people up here already. We had a class up here, and they loved it up here. We've already had a couple van lifers up here, and so we have plenty of room. Trust me, and the room that we have is pretty level. I mean, wait till you see this video. I'm putting it together today. I'm gonna post it tomorrow. We have a nature trail on our property. We have we could have a backpacking trail on our property, and it's certainly, no doubt in my mind, we have a waterfall property, and our property also, we have a creek running through it. We call that the lower deck. So we have plenty of room to do events, to have a tribe up here, community up here for people to stay up here. And if you're a builder, if you just love building stuff, come on out to the property, man. I'll give you a great deal on, feed you if you want to help me build stuff up here. So we have plenty of that. So anyway, so that's what's going on. I really appreciate you guys hanging on with us. Quite frankly, the number of people that have kind of popped in and are watching the live stream, I didn't think there'd be any. And so I really appreciate that. It's been a really, it's been 2 years. It's been a tough 2 years. It's been a lot of ups and downs. It's been extremely emotional for that amount of time, and dealing with everything we dealt with in Yellowstone, and that whole deal with the flood was just catastrophic. But we're here. The biggest thing in life is that just keep moving forward, man. Even if it kills you, just keep moving forward. And that's what Ariane and I have always done. We've always tried to do, no matter what. When we've been broke, we keep moving forward. When the Airstream breaks, we keep moving forward. The van dead, but we're going to keep moving forward. And we'll figure it out. And that's all we can do. So, we've gone from back. I've gone in the last 20 years from carrying everything on my back, hiking the Appalachian Trail, in 2003. That's all I owned, was the stuff in my back. To traveling across the country in a 76 Airstream, and now living off grid and making that possible. So, and I love sharing my successes with you guys. So I appreciate everybody that's come in and everybody that has really kind of stayed with us. Our YouTube channel, by the way, started in 2008. So we've been around for a long time. And even when you know people at YouTube, like we do, they don't help. So, just keep moving forward. That's all I can say. So anyway, I'm gonna end the stream. I really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We also have merch on YouTube channel now too. So, that's through Spring made some Nomad shirts. Check that out. And that's about it. If you want to see what's happened the last 2 years, watch some of those long ass documentaries about our life in Yellowstone and Cookie, and you kind of see what that life was like. So anyway, you guys, thank you. I'm going to end it. Look for the video on our property tour tomorrow, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, you guys. Thank you. Bye.